Hello. How's everybody doing today? Hello. You'll notice a new overlay today. Just trying to have a little fun with this Twitch thing. Figured I'd go with no particular theme in mind. No particular reason. Just had an idea last night. Actually, it was the day before, and I haven't seen this yet on Twitch, but again, I haven't really explored it that much beyond maybe a couple people's art stream. But here we are. We can kind of see. How are you guys doing? Yeah, and you can see you can read the little display here in the middle. See, we'll have another guest, our usual guest host, pop in a little bit, see where he is. We're still having technical issues in terms of the audio, getting him patched in. But when he types something, I'll see if he's on the radar. And we'll go from there. So, Mr. Joshua, how are you doing today? Crispy Papa, welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. Hope quarantine life in Melbourne's good. Jay Dang, good to see you. How you doing? Too Woke to Toke. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be doing some sketching and drawing, going over a couple books, giving away some prizes. You know, the usual stuff today. I'm going to do a head sketch and just have some fun. If you guys have any questions, make sure you chime in. If the audio at any point is off, let me know. Chime in. Kazuto Archer, how are you doing? Hola. Obrigado, thank you for showing up from Brazil. It's late over there, isn't it? It's like, I want to say it's like 10, 11 o'clock. So, my co-host has not patched in yet. We'll see how... Oh, something happened. There we go. Look at that. This monitor thing is working out pretty sweet. Thank you for the follow. Too Woke to Toke. Or subscription. Thank you. So, which reminds me, when we're giving prizes away, we need to, I think, modify our rules. Last time we had, we gave away Sean's drawing, which I thought was an amazing drawing. It's an inked Weapon X piece. If you guys have not seen that, let me see if I can pull up that image again. It's somewhere, I think. There it is. Let me modify it. This takes us away from the magic. There we go. This becomes more magical. If it, this Weapon X. This was Sean's Weapon X sketch from last time. It's as if we're approaching the Death Star. So I think everybody... Oh, there he is, Mr. Chen. Patching in. Alright, there he is, Mr. Chen. And there he is, right there. So we're hanging on to the wing here in space, flying around. Eventually we'll come to a standstill. When we come to a standstill, we will, I guess, orbit a planet or a space station. That takes too much time to draw right now, so we are left with what we have. Sure, no problem, Kazuto. Kazuto is not a fluent speaker. Neither am I. We will try to get through this as easily as possible. I don't know much Portuguese, just obrigado. I'm sure there's some other words that I might remember, but due to the coronavirus, my brain does not function as sharp as it used to. So eventually, hopefully, we will get Mr. Chen over here on the other side. We'll get him patched in through the audio. Might work with Skype, or maybe Mr. Chen will just have to set up his own Twitch account, and then somehow we can figure out the interfaces. Maybe he'll be in a A-wing, and I'll be in a B-wing fighter. I don't know. We'll see. This one's a modified X-wing cockpit. All the buttons are pushable, except I can't push it because I'm outside of the cockpit. You guys are the ones that are flying. So, again, if you have any questions, make sure to throw it down. I think we've reached a good destination here. Let me put a stop to the... Let's come to a stop. All right. There we go. So now we've come to a complete standstill. Engines full reverse. Technically, can you really come to a standstill in space? And because I'm outside the cockpit, you can't really hear me because it's a vacuum. But suspension of belief, let's roll with it. The left arm, why don't you do the details of the left arm? Oh, for Sean. Well, that's a Sean question. Sean, if you want to answer that. He didn't do the details of the left arm. I think Sean got lazy. But that was a free giveaway sketch that we gave away last time, Kazuto. So today we got a couple of books. Look at what I got. Boulevard, this one last time. Well, I actually didn't give this away. So at some point, I think at the 15-minute mark, I'm going to give a code word. The code word will be something interesting. And so if you guys stay on a bulk of the stream and you get these code words, or maybe I should just write your names down at some point. At like 15 past, I'll write everybody's name down. So when we do the first giveaway, depending on how long you've been on, you'll get more slices, or your slice will be bigger. Right? I think that's fair. So even if you show up at the end, you still have an opportunity to win. But if you've been here the whole time, or for an extended period of time, checking back at different intervals, you'll get more opportunity. Right? I think that's fair. Because last time somebody showed up right at the end and then scooped Sean's drawing. I felt bad afterwards thinking about it for all the guys that were on with us. So, we're still learning. We're still adjusting. Let's see. This is a sketchbook that Sean... This is some Sean Chen work here. Sean. Make sure you give Sean a follow on Instagram. If you hear the chirping in the background, those are my birds. They're in a bird cage right now, eating. Well, they were. They're now just chillaxing. They got maybe another hour or two before they need to be put to bed. Also, with this new interface, I'm going to have to draw a little bit further up the drawing table today than normal. There's some text stuff. Wow. Last stream reviewed, here's some Sienkiewicz sketches. I was totally amazed that Bill Sienkiewicz agreed to join our sketchbook for this issue. He's always been one of my favorite artists growing up. His New Mutants run was pretty amazing. And then, thank you to Woke to Toke. That's a very good bird thing there. That's... Your emoji game is strong, my friend. And we also had David LaFuente as a guest artist. David has a very, very unique style. Stuff is beautiful. You can tell you can tell even though this is a slightly more maybe perhaps cartoonish style with the bigger feet on the characters, maybe some more stylized faces. You can tell this guy can draw. You can tell this guy has a mastery of perspective, and that because there are a lot of guys, there are a lot of artists. You can see, this, even the perspective and figure work inside the glass. There are a lot of artists that can draw kind of cartoonish, but when the more cartoonier you go, sometimes can mask a lot of deficiencies in terms of perspective. But David's stuff is just, I'm amazed by it every time. Make sure you follow those guys. They all have Instagram pages. This book was published before Instagram, so hence we just have their websites, BillSienkiewiczArt.com and DavidLafuente.com. But yeah. And then we got Tommy Lee Edwards in here, Turf. Tommy's a very digital but also traditional painter. Got Jean Paul Leon. I'm beginning to think I maybe have to switch to like a B-wing cockpit, because this half screen or 2/3 screen, it's very prohibitive. Or maybe I just slide everything down, but then what happens is you lose some of the control screen. But maybe I might have to do that. I just might have to do that. So yeah, this stuff is beautiful. So we'll be giving this bad boy away. Do a little raffle. This was Beavis and Butthead. Well, Beavis won this one last night, or last time we streamed. So this will still be available as a giveaway later at some point. And I want to show off some of my... Hey, George Vega, how you doing? Mr. Joshua, you bought a piece of Bill's work? Wow. An unpublished trading card he was going to do for Topps. Superman versus Metallo. That must have been a pretty penny. Pretty penny there. This is also available. I can take this space out. So now we've completely docked inside of the space station. The space station now is, of course, my drawing table. The Birds won. They won the Boulevard 3 sketchbook, and they won the sketch, the Megatron sketch. Butthead won the Megatron sketch. So there's always a gamble. They have an opportunity to win, as well as Mr. Chen as well. So let's see. Topi, if you guys are familiar with Topi, I got pulled up 2 of his books here. This guy, to me, is amazing. And, if you like Walter Simonson, I think there's a lot of textural work with his line art. Sean, is Topi still around? This stuff with the foliage, organic. Just the line work itself, like these boots, thin to thick, but just the essence of it. There's so much energy in his work. Even a still image of 2 feet in boots dangling, sitting outside of a box, in a box with the legs dangling out, or not, is hanging inside of a box. There's just so much character and power inside a simple drawing. Young artists tend to always want to draw like a lot of exciting stuff, punching poses, but you look. He made this old man look, wow, right? You look at that single drawing, and it's zoom back a little bit. That's with the line work, the work, the foliage, the debris. Even the characterization in his face. Let me, noticing the camera seems to auto zoom. So whenever I'm moving in and out, oh, that's a very blunt way of putting it, Sean. Thank you. Sergio Topi is no longer with us. He has passed away. So let's get rid of the autofocus and just zoom in. Okay. And at some point too, I'll probably ask some people for some audio advice, some technical advice. We're trying to again set up so that Sean can have audio on the stream. Initially, I thought we'd do it through Discord, but still haven't been able to figure it out. Downloaded a secondary third-party app called I Show You or something, and that so far is not on the block list of apps. And that does not seem to have resolved our issues. I can hear him on my own computer, but it's somehow still not getting into the OBS here. So Sean is stuck forever, having that angry face. Again, I was thinking about maybe making a GIF where his mouth moves. But any idea on what I should be drawing today, or what you guys would like to see? Any suggestions? Yeah, this stuff is just beautiful, and it's kind of small on the screen, but really the amount of textural work that's going on in this, even this old dude down on the bottom. This is stuff that I can just stare at for hours. Well, maybe not hours, but a lot of minutes. And then makes you want to go and draw. I get asked a lot by certain artists about people, young people, especially young artists, inspiration. How do you find inspiration in your craft? Well, you actually need to have, you should have some inspiration already. If you're having problems figuring out for yourself, this was the other book I found too as I'm cleaning out. Let's see here. Batman, Superman. By Greg Pak and Jay Lee. Our buddy Jay, brilliant artist. Really beautiful stuff. His line weight combined with the shapes and the building and the silhouettes that he has in his work. No one's been able to master this as well as Jay. Negative space, line weight, textures. These are... How many times have you seen Batman and Superman drawn? But some of these movements, a lot of it is textural with the line. His use of silhouettes, shadows, tremendous. You just gotta love his stuff. How did you, Sean and Jay are pretty good friends. How did you guys meet, Sean? Was it I know you guys have known each other for a while. He's another Maryland guy? Is there something in the water with the Maryland guys? Did Ben Oliver draw some of this issue? You can tell, you look at the corners, this is not a CGC graded book. This has been in my studio for a little bit. sometimes in between other books. Did he draw this issue? I think this is all. This issue is all Jay Lee. This issue is all Jay Lee. Let me do myself a favor and get a piece of tape here. There we go. Okay. Put a piece of tape down. You can't see it, but it marks where the camera's cut off, so I gotta remind myself to always get something above a particular threshold. So you guys went to, so Sean, Jay grew up in Northern Virginia, and Sean was in Maryland. A lot of other artists from that Maryland area. Frank Cho, our very own Yoji. It's Chris Sprouse from the Maryland area as well, or Mazzucchelli. Sean knew a lot of people before he even broke in, and George, welcome George Vega. Yeah, stuff is amazing. You know, there's a tremendous amount of artwork out there, artists. Everybody with a, at some point, that's another question is a lot of younger artists ask, you know, how do you get your style? You know, some of that is just drawing. You just got to keep drawing until you figure something out, without the intent of trying to develop a style. I feel like the more you draw, I mean, look at this. This is I clearly see this sketch right here. This pinup. This is Jim Calafieri. I think this is Jim Calafieri. No, maybe it's not. This is similar to Camicoli. No? Okay. Some guys you can just tell. That's not Jim Calafieri. Sorry. Pat Gleason. There, I just debunked my own theory. How about that? All right. I think all of us have drawn Flash in this particular pose at one time or another. Ho Nguyen. So Sean's crew was Jay Lee, Pop Man, and Chris Sprouse. Wow, that's Jay Lee, Pop Man, Chris Sprouse, and Sean Chen. That's a fearsome foursome right there. This is early 90s, 92, 91. And Hong Nguyen. He didn't make it. Yoji, welcome to the stream. Yoji grew up with Jay's sister. In-law. Oh, it's Jay's sister-in-law. I was like, does Jay have a sister? I mean, Yoji, I know, has an encyclopedic knowledge brain, but did he have a sister? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't know about it. Is she single? That's fine. Kazuto is studying and wants to improve his artwork. There's no better improvement than to just draw. A couple streams ago, I recommended everybody get a sketchbook. If you're an artist, you need to draw as much as you can. When you become a professional, a lot of times you can't draw stuff that you like. You have to draw stuff that's for work. So when you are studying and you are beginning to start, this is the one time that you can really have to yourself. You should draw everything. Draw even things that you don't like. You know, you got to work on stuff that you're not good at. But you need to draw as much as you can, because eventually, as a professional, you have to draw every day. If you can't draw every day right now, you got to really push yourself. And as tradition would have it, let's get some vitamin D3 from Kirkland, Costco. I do my grocery shopping at Costco every 2 weeks during the quarantine. Too bad these things aren't gummies. I kind of like the gummy vitamins, even though they're kind of high in calories. I wonder if you can eventually one day just eat gummies and survive. Like, they'll just have... I mean, technically, can I just eat vitamin gummies and survive? And is that the next diet wave? Gestural part is very important. Yes. Well, gestural part is very important. Kazuto asked, the gestural is the most important in comics. It's most important in drawing, especially in figures. You want to be able to lay down the motion and the action and the pose in a very light, fast way, a fast or efficient way, before you start getting into the details of the eyes, the nose, the figure, the clothing, the equipment. Because once you get further along the line, and then you realize that it's the wrong pose, then you got to start all over again. So it's almost like if you're building a house, first you need to have the blueprint. You need to make sure everything is designed, laid out properly. Then, when you're building the house, you need to put in the foundation. If you start designing the house and you do the blueprint, and then you jump into, oh man, I really like this TV, and I like these cabinetries, and I like these drapes, and I like this sofa, you can't do it that way. Because then you'll notice that, there's no solid foundation for the house, and the walls crumble and the roof comes down. So, but there are a lot of components. There's not only just one thing. If the one thing would be just to draw, right? So, today, let's see. Yoji, you came in late, man. You didn't see that early on we were traveling through space. What do you think of this new overlay here? And then Sean wants to actually, he wants to start streaming, which I would encourage everybody to try to encourage Sean to do this. Sean likes to put the toe in the pool, or Sean likes to push me in the pool first, and then if I haven't frozen or drowned from the water, then he'll get in. So I'm always the guinea pig. But eventually he'll jump in. Well, we're going to Space Station Chen right now, drawing desk. So the drawing will define which universe or which parsec of the universe we end up in. Last time it was Cybertron that we ended up in. Today, do we end up in Thundera? Do we end up on Earth? Where do we go? Star Trek. I know that's blasphemy because I have a Star Wars kind of cockpit. This is kind of like a modified X-Wing cockpit. This was from one of my favorite games when I was... here's the... here it is. Kind of what I thought about, too. Yeah. Rebel Assault. CD-ROM game. You guys know what a CD-ROM game is? Yeah. There it is. Look at this bad boy. Rebel Assault. I like to keep things nice condition. Although, I don't think this works on my Mac anymore. So, it's a shame. And I actually had a joystick. You could buy a joystick for this game. So, there was a joystick. This was in the old... past the Mac Plus. Back when they had a Mac thing and then you had to buy a monitor and a keyboard. Yeah, this was hours of fun. Okay. Craigslist. Yeah, both my iMacs don't have a CD-ROM drive anymore. I'm thinking about buying one, an external CD-ROM drive, so I can maybe watch DVDs or something off of it, or I don't know, off of my computer. But I hooked up my old PlayStation 3 to I have a TV on this side. I have a TV on this side, and I have another computer on this side, and then there's one right in front. I also have a ton of AOL discs, AOL CD-ROMs that I used as coasters. I think I've thrown away most of them, thank goodness. Again, I do have a hoarder's mentality that I'm trying to break, trying to Marie Kondo my home. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Let's see. Sean did not move out to LA with me. He did not want to come to work for Disney for a while. I think you would have liked it, Sean. At Imagineering and at Interactive. So what should we draw? What should we draw today? What's on everybody's mind? What would you like to see? Let's come up with 2 or 3 and then I get to pick. How about that? All right. And we are near the half-hour mark. Let me write down everybody's name first of all. So Yoji, the new rule is I'm going to write down people's names at particular intervals. So now everybody gets 1 slice. When we do the first giveaway, maybe at the hour mark, those people that are there get to sign on. So we got Yoji. Who's another T viewer? Is that Sean? Oh, we got J Dang and Crispy. How come it's only showing me? I see that there's 11 people on, but the users in chat are. How do I pull up everybody that's watching right now so I can write their names down? Mr. Joshua. We got 2 new guys, and if you're a subscriber, you automatically get double whatever slice. So we got Kazuto, and we have a new subscriber today. Well, George is here. Is it something to something? Short-term memory is not the greatest. Too woke. Okay. And I think I got everybody. Right? I put George Vega. There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, Sean's got a lot of stuff. Sean's going to have a new book. New self-published book coming out soon. Can you talk about the name, Sean? Or is there like a link? I think they're launching it, or they're going to make it available. You have to purchase it through your local comic book shop, or is there going to be a website that people can order this off of? Voltron. I did kind of grow up with Voltron, but I wasn't a huge fan. I remember my best friend in 5th grade, 6th grade, this guy named Alex Jerkovich. I don't know if Alex is still around. I mean he's around, I just don't know where he is. Alex Jerkovich was a huge Voltron fan. Like I said before, I think in a previous stream, I noticed that Voltron at some point, every episode had the same kind of story. I mean, it was a different villain, but at the 15-minute mark, something would happen. All the people would jump into the Voltron ships, and then they would attack individually, and then they would be kind of defeated, and then they would form into Voltron, win a little bit, but then almost face defeat until the very end, where he pulls out his sword finally, and then he destroys the bad guy, and then that's how the episodes end, almost to a T, every single one. So I guess as a kid you don't really notice that, and it is kind of exciting because they're building up like one challenge after the other. But it's funny how some things you see when you're older. So Sean printed a book out next month. Wow. Called Wingman. Wingman. So next chapter post on Instagram. So if you guys get a chance, go to next chapter post on Instagram. Check that out. I think we should. You can, Sean. You should type the link in. Instagram.com/next chapter. What did I say? Next chapter post. There. Let's see if that link works. Oh, maybe it doesn't because Instagram, because I all capped it. There we go. Let's see. Let's check this out. They got their website up? Sean? There we go. Let me add a browser source. And let me put this back into Movie Magic. All right, there we go. So next chapter source. When I scroll up and down, will you guys be able to? Nope. I still got to figure out how to control the browser source. So you guys can see some of Sean's stuff. That stuff was also published in Heavy Metal, right? This is a complete creator-owned thing that Sean did. But it was first published on Sean's Instagram page. And then I think Heavy Metal published a portion of it, and now next chapter post is going to release it in a single volume, right? Alex Jurkovich, Jurkevich, Jurkovich. Anyways, I just remember for like Alex's birthday, I'd saved up my money all year because he really liked Voltron, so I bought him like a full Voltron toy as a gift that all the arms and legs come apart and form into their own lions, and then they form back. They connect into like an actual Voltron. So, Alex Jurkovich. So if you're out there, Alex, say hello. Hello. Oops, sorry. I just farted. Right now we're at 10 viewers. Anybody else? I think I got everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I got 7 people, so we're missing somebody. Maybe type something in the chat for a chance to win. But let's start on the sketch. And then, so I'm gonna put on crispy. And write crispy. Right, of course. There's a Lego version of Voltron. Wow. I think if I was into Voltron, that'd be really cool because, or even Legos. I think if I was into Legos, it'd be really cool. All right. Nobody has any suggestions? I'm completely out. I mean, since Crispy's here, I could draw Wonder Woman. It's built up a lot of blocks, a lot of slices. This might be it. We've been talking about maybe reducing the size of the drawings for future streams depending on the popularity and the time frame system efficiency, and also in terms of mailing. Um, so this might be one of the last few 9x12. Let's do Wonder Woman. In honor of Crispy. I do have a Wonder Woman commission that I have to finish. So let's draw Wonder Woman facing. I'd have to stick with this side. I can't, because the other side has everybody's name on it. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker so we can see the pencil. Right now, again, Kazuto, you notice this is more just a gesture drawing. Trying to make sure I can get the figure in. And like clockwork, usually the first stuff that I draw, I'm not happy with. So, all right, birdies. The birdies want to come out of the cage. Give me a second. As an added surprise or a gift, if the birds land on my shoulder during the stream, 2 birds have to land on either or together on the shoulder during the stream. You guys, everyone on stream at that time wins a print. It almost happened a couple streams ago. One guy jumped on, flew off, then the other guy jumped on. Well, both have to be on at the same time. Let's see, here we go. I mean, Crispy, do you want the Wonder Woman sketch, or do you want the Megatron? Or what about Wonder Woman as Megatron? Would that make your head explode? If we did I think maybe next time we'll do a mashup. Yeah. I kind of wish I did the Red Hood on this stream though too. You saw the Red Hood one. That one got quite a positive response online. So far the sketch looks a little like the hair, maybe it looks a little like Pocahontas. What's the matter, birdies? Where's the other guy? Sometimes they fly underneath the ship because they're checking the landing gear. 7 slices now. Yeah, you guys got to keep track. Please keep track of your own slices. I should at some point keep a database somewhere, maybe on my iPhone. We're kind of just winging it right now. So please bear with us. Yoji, I was mentioning earlier in the stream, I felt bad for everybody last time because Sean's awesome, amazing inked Weapon X sketch. I should have thought a little bit more about tiers in terms of like, Jim Lee has a tier system for subscribers. So at different intervals, different people can win based on their contribution to the stream. So I felt bad that maybe I should have left. Maybe I should have left the Weapon X sketch giveaway for all the original OG followers, but I will keep in mind something special for you guys that have been with us, especially especially the guys that have been with us for a while. Yeah, somebody had actually commissioned it. So maybe there was like some pressure on the line from my perspective. And due to that pressure, I was able to cook up something good. You know, sometimes if you're just drawing for fun, which I never really do. It's not a lot of it's not like you're in a game, you know, you're just shooting around. Although even when you're shooting around, you don't want to miss, right? But I think because it was a commission sketch, there's maybe a little bit more pressure on the line, and sometimes I enjoy having that pressure. These guys are just hanging out on their perch. So Sean, how your Wei ni hao. Wei ni hao. So Sean, how do you get how do people order that book? They have to go to the local comic book store? Can I order it directly through Next Chapter? And by the way, Kazuto, you know, Sean is also a professional comic book artist. He's currently the artist of Batman Beyond. However, Sean's resume includes Iron Man, a 3-year run on Iron Man, Wolverine. Sean popularized the Wolverine character when the first Wolverine movie came out, and he was in jeans and leather jacket. That version of Wolverine, as opposed to the yellow or brown version of Wolverine. I like that face, but somehow I think I enjoy erasing it even more and then trying to draw something. I want to have something that's a little bit more expression. Yeah, so make sure you give Sean a follow. I'm sure he'll be posting information on that. How big is the volume, Sean? Like how many pages? It's basically... kind of thinking like Wonder Woman's head is kind of tilted. Part of this is that her neck is exposed. There's a particular vulnerability in this pose, even though she's one of the strongest characters in the DC universe. I actually like this neck exposed pose for a lot of heroes. It shows a particular vulnerability. One of my deficiencies as an artist in the past, and sometimes I still fight, is that I tend to draw large heads. They say as artists you tend to mimic a lot of, unknowingly or subconsciously, in your artwork and what you draw, you tend to mimic some of your own physical features. So I have a rather large skull. Why? Way, I have a new Marvel book coming out soon, so I hope you're gonna pick up at least a copy. Or I hope you're gonna break that you haven't read a Marvel comic in 10 years rule. You can hear the birds in the background. They're just kind of chatting with each other. It's kind of like a happy, life is good. I'm just gonna chit chat. They hear the dad talking, so they're kind of mimicking me talk. The birds are parrotlets. And they're the smallest form of parrots in captivity. Similar to lovebirds and parakeets. They look very similar to lovebirds. They're actually, I think, a little bit smaller. And they live to about 18 years. What might actually help too, Kazuto, is if you wanted advice, if you're open to, you have an Instagram page, maybe you can, if there's artwork on there, give us an idea of where you're at. I might be able to. Also, if you're looking for advice, and give you a more specific, detailed response to your art. A lot of times I get messages, emails, texts from aspiring artists, and some of the questions they ask can be found online already. And and it's like sometimes it's the same questions over and over again from everyone. So it would behoove a lot of aspiring artists to do some of their research initially before you're asking. Because if you ask us a general question, you're going to get a very general reply, if at all. If you ask a very specific question, you might get a more responsive reply. And I can't give you an example of that, but maybe like, hey, I'm drawing this shot of Wonder Woman, and I want to make sure that she seems regal and strong, but at the same time reflect particular vulnerability. And then I would say, maybe try to draw with her neck exposed. And then George picked up Teen Titans because of me, doing the same for X-Men. Thank you so much, George. Thank you. Well, I hope you picked it up, and I hope you enjoyed it. Teen Titans, I drew for a year and a half at DC Comics recently. Written by Adam Glass and colored by my good friend Marcello Maiolo, fellow Brazilian. Marcello and I have been working for quite a while now, since Demon Knights. I think that was 2012. So sometimes you can draw, again, let me back this down, so not so far up. There, this is a better angle for me. This is another kind of learning thing for me, but you know, drawing on the road, this is probably a subject for we're going to touch maybe for another stream, but maybe we'll talk about it tonight. Drawing in different places. So we've all drawn as a professional. The deadline never goes away, especially if you're drawing a monthly book. So we've all had to draw in many different places at all odd hours of the day. Some drawings are fast, some drawings are slow. Similar to an athlete, one day having a on day where they're able to hit everything they throw up, every shot that they throw up. And some days they just, nothing's right. Everything's a brick. Batters go through slumps. You just want to make sure your slump is not that long, because it's also a production. You have to finish the work. There are people behind you in line. So I've had to draw on planes, cars or buses, hotels, cafes, restaurants, what other places have you had to draw in, Sean? Aside from studios, you know, inside your studio, people's homes, hotel rooms. Hotel rooms can be very interesting too. I know Sean has made light boxes from various hotel furniture. Sometimes we've made light boxes just from the window of the hotel room that you're in. You know, holding up the drawing to the window. But I think if we were to do a survey, a hotel bathroom is probably actually more popular than people would think. A lot of that is, when I was in Brazil the first time, I remember, and also other trips, if you're traveling with family or loved ones, and it's the middle of the night, you gotta work, they gotta sleep. Most people can't sleep with the light on. I mean, I can sleep with the light on, but so the most isolated place is the hotel bathroom. So you bring up a chair, you're really drawing on the counter. I don't think I've ever drawn on the toilet. Sacred place, sacred place. Set up a light system, use a bunch of towels to kind of soften the edge of the counter. Yeah, and the amount of equipment that you had to bring over the years, become more efficient at it. You know, Sean and I tend to draw with light boxes because we draw on the back of the paper, and then pencil and ink on the front through a light box, so we can do all the figure work, the gestural work, the blocking out, all in the back, erasing, and then not have it affect the front of the paper, the texture. So what was that you're asking, Mr. Joshua? Either you have a favorite writer that you would like to work with, or it's like a favorite song. Well, okay. Well, let's jump on that in a second. Let's finish this train of thought. Remind me, we'll come back to that idea. That's a good question. Drawing on the plane. You know, that's actually more difficult than you think. Drawing on the plane, although the plane ride outside of turbulence tends to be fairly smooth. When you think it's fairly smooth, but in actuality, the plane ride is actually fairly bumpy, and they're very subtle bumps. So it's not like, but it is not as smooth as it appears. In the past, also, depending on the seat, assignment, and your next door, your seat partner, whoever's sitting on right or left side. If I'm right-handed, so I always, if I'm in economy, I'm sitting on the aisle, either in the aisle where the aisle's on my right-hand side, or I'm sitting on the window where the window's on my right-hand side. So that way I get the most movement from my right arm. So I'm not going to be bumped into by whoever's sitting next to me. The last couple of years, because I've been flying so much, I've been able to upgrade into your own like little pod, and that's amazing. And that gives you definitely a lot more room to play with. But sitting in an airplane seat can be difficult. Drawing on a bus or a car, I've done that. That's very bumpy. So it's more like sketching. You're drawing stuff, you're roughing things out. Again, I've been on bus rides or car rides where bus or car rides where it's okay. You can draw. You can get through stuff. You can sketch out an idea. Yeah, that drawing was not working for me. In recent years, we've bought LED light tables. They're fairly thin. And those have been, well, in the past, this is a light box because it turns on. But this is also like fairly thick, right? And heavy. And cumbersome. So if you're traveling, I used to travel with this light box. And It was a pain in the ass. This decreases. This is one of your carry-on luggages, and it's heavy. It's bulky. There's always a fear that it's going to smash. So the LED light boxes are not only thinner, much lighter, they're also not that expensive. And they even have a USB option. So you can plug it into the wall, or you can plug it into your laptop, or even take it to a show and use a portable battery plug into that. So Sean, where is the craziest place you've actually had to draw? I've had to draw in a hospital a couple of times, visiting visiting a sick relative. Well, last time I can remember was my dad was in hospital, and so I'd go stay with him during the day, during visiting hours, and when he would take a nap, I would bust out a drawing board and try to get a couple quick drawings in, and then leave the inking for later in the evening when I get back to the hotel. And it's also at times, drawing, it's difficult, but you have to get into some kind of routine. It's not easy to turn on and off. Huey on. Yeah, I have a 11 by 17 travel light box. The 11 by 17 travel light box fits with the portfolio. Fits right inside my carry-on luggage. It's a little heavier, but it's not as heavy as this. But I do also have had the 9 by 12. I just found that the 9 by 12 sometimes, when I'm drawing on the 11 by 14 paper, sometimes I get the corner and it'll like create, if my arm is resting on it, it might create a crease. But again, that's all. You got to use it. Once you use it, you get used to it. Ooh, somebody just followed. Thank you for the follow. Let's see. I like this one better, huh? What do you think, Crispy? This is a better Wonder Woman pose. The other one. This one, she's like, what you want? Right? A little bit more attitude. Still a slight twist in the neck. I also draw very long necks. So this actually debunks my earlier theory about drawing physical features that you personally actually have. Like I draw big heads, been fighting that. But I also draw long necks, and I don't have a very long neck. I mean, I have a beard, but even without the beard, I don't really have a very long neck. I've seen pictures of me where I'm like, what the fuck happened to my neck? It's like a head plopped on top of a torso. I'm actually, I like to think of myself as like a 6'1", 6'2" guy, but compressed down into a 5'6" frame. When I was in college, the nickname was not nickname, but the saying was 6'8". Played like I was 6'8". Or played like I had the heart of a 6'8". Player, 6'8". 6'8" is the ideal height for a basketball player. I think that's. I remember reading somewhere Pat Riley, one of the greatest all-time NBA coaches. One of his things was that he would like to play with a team of all 6'8" players. You feel like if you had a team of all 6'8" players, you could beat anybody. Versatility, because some players would be taller than, and then some players would be shorter than, but because of the versatility, all around height, 6'8". Anyway, so Sean, did you say what's the craziest place you've ever drawn or had to draw in? And this would include layouts. It doesn't have to include, if you're just sketching stuff out. I mean, again, I take my sketchbook everywhere I go. So, cafes, different places. Doesn't really. This drawing has so much pressure. I feel like whoever wins this in Australia, it's got to be a good one. Thank you, Yoji. Yes, I was the captain. I started out as barely making the team. The last guy to make the team before the cuts as a freshman. I remember specifically some of those moments. As a senior in high school, I went to visit Pratt. They had a incoming freshman, not an orientation, but like an incoming freshman event where parents and students can come visit the campus. And I hadn't made up my mind yet, I don't think, as to where I was going to go. But Pratt was 1 and 2. Pratt was 2. Number 1 was RISD. And we were negotiating back and forth with RISD, Rhode Island School of Design. Scholarship money. So with Pratt, I had already won the National Talent Search. So I was, so I had a full scholarship. But with RISD, they didn't have a merit-based scholarship. At least that's what they told me. And so there was a difference of a few $1,000s per year. And RISD was my first choice. I had visited the campus there. Really enjoyed it. You could take classes at Brown. I had actually thought about maybe going into Brown first, or applying to Brown. I think for some reason I remember I applied to Brown, or maybe got in through, or said, some admission person said that if I applied, I would get in. So if you went to RISD or if you went to Brown, you can take classes at the other school. but the difference in money between RISD and Pratt was a few $1,000s. And I didn't want my mom to pay for my college. I knew she, as a single mom, I put a lot of stress and pressure on her. I wanted to become independent. So going to college was never really a question. It was how much money could I try to get? How much scholarship money could I get? So RISD, again, I think we're a few $1,000s different. Eventually, they said you could go to Pratt. If I didn't like it after a year, I can still transfer back. The offer would still be the same. Well, the offer would still be on the table. So I went to visit Pratt, and one of the reasons for going to Pratt was that, a couple reasons. The scholarship money was there. B, Pratt had an athletic department. So RISD didn't have an athletic department, but I could go play, use the Brown, I think I could use the Brown University gym. But it wasn't like super close, but it was close. But because of the winter, I don't think I would have been going every day. How are you doing on this? Not bad, huh? I'm thinking I'm probably make her chin a little bit narrower. So I went into the first thing I did when I got to the Pratt campus was go to the gym. And Pratt has an athletic facility. It's an art school, but they have actually the largest indoor freestanding space in all of New York City or Brooklyn. They have the indoor gym is so large that there's a track inside that they run the Colgate track games there. And the architecture was amazing. That it's on this particular wooden beam system. So I got there and I asked around the front desk, hey, is the basketball flyer or team anybody I can talk to from the basketball team? And the assistant coach at the time, Pedro Ville, came out. He's a big, heavyset guy. And he's like, yeah, what can I help you with, And I was like, well, I'm interested in coming to Pratt in the fall. And I'd also like to try out for the basketball team. And I want to find out when the basketball team tryouts were and what some of the requirements. And he kind of looked at me for a moment, this five, probably shorter than 2, maybe 5'4", 5'5" kid. And he's like, oh, okay, all right, well, just, when you show up in the fall, just, come by the gym and give you that information then. So he probably got a good laugh that day, and but then that night or later that, I think right after that, I went into the gym and played pickup, and there were other kind of incoming freshmen as well as people that were actually going to Pratt at the time there, and played couple games. And there was one other kid that was there who was really good, by the name of Bobby Fuller. And Bobby was also there visiting campus because he had also gotten a scholarship. And he was actually recruited by the coach. So he was recruited. He was like New Jersey that year. He was like the Jersey State all first team player. And my understanding was Bobby had an option of going to Columbia University and playing on their men's basketball team there, which is Division I, or coming to Pratt and playing at Pratt, which is Division III. At Columbia, he'd do well, but I don't know if he would have been a starter right away. But at Pratt, he would have been a starter right away and the star of the team, the focal point. I'm sure Bobby would have done great as well at Columbia. But also Pratt, the education different. I mean, maybe also the scholarship situation at Pratt was probably better than Columbia. But I remember watching him play or playing with him or against him during a couple of games. I'm like, this guy is good. This guy, you can tell he very fundamental, but also just a smooth player, aggressive, smart player. And then lo and behold, at the fall semester when it showed up on campus, Bobby was there as well. So okay, Joshua is going to be back. Let's see, 122. Let's give away a Boulevard number 4 sketchbook. So who do we got online right now? Crispy, you probably want to save your slices for the sketch giveaway. Yoji's here. J Dang. Too woke. Guys, if you're here, just type something in. We can do this giveaway. This is for Boulevard sketchbook number 4, featuring the Boulevard guys and Bill Sienkiewicz. Kazoo. All right, let me just pull up the wheel. Let's get the Streamlabs running. If you're new to the stream, this is my favorite part of the stream when we do the wheel. Spin wheel. Yoji, yes. Pratt, at the time, was known for their art and architecture, but they also had an engineering program. Pratt actually has a very proud historic tradition in basketball, especially college basketball. Pratt Institute actually won the National College title championship in 1901. That's 120 years ago, but 120 years ago, but they won a national championship. They used to play schools like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Fordham, Columbia. They were the first college in the New York City area to play a basketball game. Or the first college basketball game in the New York area was Pratt Institute versus, I forgot the other school, but Pratt played in the first collegiate basketball game in the New York City area. And actually during my tenure at Pratt, Pratt had the longest, the third or fourth longest college rivalry in the nation, behind Harvard, Yale. There was another one, might have been they're all Northeast schools, Cornell something, and Pratt versus Polytech University. Polytech, later on, I think 2012, around the 2000 teens, got absorbed or bought out by NYU. So now Polytech no longer exists. It's actually a part of NYU, New York University. But Pratt has actually also had a couple of NBA people drafted by the NBA. When I played at Pratt, aside from Bobby Fuller ended up breaking the school scoring record. Another player, Anthony Hayward, was also known as Half Man, Half Amazing. He is one of the and one streetball legends from Brooklyn. he was a teammate. So we had a pretty legit squad. I mean, we played against Columbia, NYU, local New York area schools, MIT. We had some rough years, but we also had some good years. So, let's see. Slices. Way's here, right? Write down Way. Way was here earlier. Okay. Yoji's here. Luke. Mr. Joshua, would you like Luke to be on this? Sean Chen, Beavis Butthead, Crispy. Both Crispies are here. Is the other Crispy here? Crispy Egg Roll? DJ is not here. Okay, DJ is not here. In lieu of DJ, I will be putting in J-Dang. J-Dang. Okay. Let me add in Kazuto. Let me add in 2 Woke. And let me add in George Vega. Okay. 2 Woke gets 2 slices due to his subscription. Let's set this up real quick. Just a preliminary setup. Just 1 Crispy at the moment. Okay. Crispy. No Crispy Egg. Okay. All right, and let's see. What we got here? Mr. Joshua, Luke, you get 2. 2 Woke, you get 2. Well, I'm just increasing the size of your slice. So, Kazuto, you know what also might helpful? Sean and I were talking, we can do a tutorial stream at some point. So, Sean and I like to give out portfolio reviews at conventions. So what I would recommend is if there's a single drawing or a page, we can set up some kind of system where you would mail it in. I have a Cintiq that I can actually stream from, and then I can draw over that that initial drawing. That way we can all kind of see and learn from each other. Right? Anybody else? Anybody else? Who else is here gets 2 slices? Double the slice. First. Let me know again. Is it what is the first and what is the crown icon in front of everybody's names? What is the difference? Yeah, I hope Crispy's okay. Maybe he's busy tonight. Hot date. We'll see. What is the difference between the first and the crown? Or just the crown? Oh, okay. All right. Amazon Prime is anybody with a crown is Amazon Prime. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. let me update this. This is for Boulevard 4 sketchbook. Are we ready? Are we ready for the spin? Nobody else. Nobody else. And you have to be here, so... Okay, let's do this. Spin wheel. Wei. Wei. Wei, ni hao. Wei, you here? Wei is the winner. If Wei doesn't respond, then I'm going to have to spin it again. But I thought I saw Wei earlier. Wei, he? Wei, he going once. Wei, he going twice. Wei, he going 2.5 times. He went away. He went away. What do you guys think? Should we give it to Wei? I mean, I like Wei. He's been here. No way. Alright, well, Sean said no way. There's all these puns that we can come up with. Wait a minute. He was like, well, wait a minute. That's right. Hey, wait a minute. Did he fall asleep? Oh, he needed to eat with the family. Alright, that's a good excuse, right? I mean... Alright, Wei. Oh, watch TV with the wife? Fuck that, man. Come on. Watch TV with the... eating is like an essential. But to watch TV with the wife? Well, that is important. Marital bliss, happiness, happy wife, happy life. Isn't that right, Sean? Happy wife, happy life. Alright. This one's for Wei. Okay, let's finish this bad boy. So, Sean, again, any other interesting places you might have worked at? I've drawn on a train, like a bullet train. That's also kind of rocky. I mean, you're going super fast, but it's also not like super smooth. It's still like, you know, there's still a little bit of bumpiness. Oh, you know what I should have done? This would have been a nice setup. I'm still working with this setup here. I've done this. That would have been cool, right? Spin the wheel on that. Well, see, I completely forgot. Okay. Get rid of the space movie. Okay. Wei gets to keep the Boulevard 4 sketchbook. At some point, I'd like to... What was the game show where if you win something, but then the host says, alright, well... You can keep this. Is that like... What was that? What was that game with the suitcases? You can keep this amount, or you can give it up and try to win something else. Unless Wei already has this book, then... Well, her boobs are kind of big. Deal or No Deal, right. But there was another one, too. Deal or No Deal is the one with the suitcases. I obviously did not subscribe to the happy wife, happy life motto. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I'll give Wei the benefit of the doubt. I mean, if you've been on the stream a bunch of times, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If you're just on lurking like last time, then be like, well, I'm gonna reward the guys that have been here supporting. So I found some other cool stuff to give away too. I think this is how it goes, right? And then this comes down. This part of the neck right here, I've always found this to be the most delicate piece, this delicate part. Okay, let's start going in and let's try to finish this, knock this out. Let's try to knock this out. I know people gotta go to sleep. It is 9, 10, 12, 2 in the afternoon. I got a missed call from SoCal Gas. What's SoCal Gas calling me at 9 p.m. for? I paid my gas bill already. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Mr. Joshua. Mr. Joshua told Wei Hai that he want. Actually, it might be Wei because he's Cantonese. Wei is Mandarin. Another art thing. Looking back at some old art that I did, I used to also draw this very long face, like a very long nose, and I don't have a very long face, so that again debunks my initial theory of drawing features that mimic your actual human features in real life. So I debunk my own theories. But you'll hear people say that, I think. Or it's also interesting sometimes, like Sean's mentioned this to me, that there are times where there'll be like I'll be particularly attracted to a person, and Sean will be like, wow, she actually looks like one of your drawings. So there are features that I draw a lot in women, that I think if I see certain people in real life that kind of mirror that, Um, whichever ones those are. Actually might have... Whether they like me back or not, that's a whole other... That's a whole other issue. But it is interesting if you draw a lot. Sean's giving Kazuto a one-on-one. Wei, welcome back. You know you won the sketchbook, right? Can you DM me? You gotta DM me your address on Instagram. I should say DM me your address on MySpace, and I'll get back to you. If I can remember my MySpace password. Whatever happened to that guy on MySpace that was your first friend? You know what I'm talking about? The guy with the... What was his name? Like Kevin or something? Why isn't he more popular on social media these days? He should be like a social media ambassador, because he was like one of the first ones. One of the first friends anybody ever had on social media. Tom. Right. Yoji. And Wei, you won. You won the Boulevard sketchbook. You won number 4. The one with La Fuente and Sienkiewicz. So, congrats. Yes. Tom. I mean, you would think like some of these newer... Well, maybe not, right? Because he's so associated with MySpace. 300 million? That was him? Fuck. Damn. 300 million. He got out at the right time. Did he really start MySpace? Was he like the Mark Zuckerberg? Wow. And now he's a travel photographer. Wow. That's the life, man. 300 million in the bank. $300 million in the bank. I had like those kind of stories, like even the David Cho story, right? David Cho, who did the mural in Facebook headquarters, and instead of being paid in cash, he took stock options, which then when Facebook went public, instantly netted him however many hundreds of millions of dollars. Those are like stories of wonder. I mean, we had stock in Acclaim. I remember that. When Acclaim purchased Valiant, they gave us stock options. Sean, did you ever... I don't think I stayed around long enough for them to vest. But Sean was there much longer than me. Did you have your stock? I mean, it wasn't worth whatever they gave us. It never vested. Zuckerberg didn't like David Cho's mural. He's become like a villain, Zuckerberg. I like this sketch. Yeah. Those were the days. 65, how much did they buy Valiant for? 65 million, was it? Or 60 something million? I mean, right after Acclaim bought Valiant, they brought us in for a. They had us over for a company retreat. There was a company retreat of Acclaim company retreat at some. Remember that, Sean? It was like some park somewhere, upstate. Plied us with hot dogs, Coke. Man, David Cho was amazing. I used to love his ASA. What was that podcast that he would do? I would listen to that religiously. That was the shit. Then they stopped. I think the birds agree with me. And then he did a video cast, right? It was he stopped that and then he did something else. DVD ASA. Something, yeah, I think it was like 60 million. I think we got a bonus check, but it was only for like a few $1,000. I think Steve Mazarski, who was the publisher at the time, along with Bob and the other major stakeholders, Bob Layton. I think John Hartz was part of it. They had... Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm just making this shit up, let me know. But I somehow remember that they had, out of what they said was out of their pocket, cut most people a check. You know, if you're a few thousand bucks. Fred Pierce was cut out. Yeah, Fred by that time had left. Right? Fred had left for Wizard. And Barry was actually cut out too, right? Was Barry cut out? Barry had already left long before. And Jim Shooter was cut out. Oh, Jim Chung. Welcome to the stream, Jim Chung. Welcome. Welcome. Wakey, wakey. This is a, wow. Another guest. Gotta type this in, ladies and gentlemen. I'll introduce you to Instagram.com Jim Chung. Wait, what is it? Jim Chung Art? Instagram.com / Jim, what's your Instagram account? Oh, I'll look it up. Don't worry. Let me be professional here. Jim Chung Art. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. There you go. Jim Chung Art. Look at that. Make sure you guys give him a follow. Although you probably are already following him. This guy has like 150,000 followers, 140 some odd thousand followers. Hey Yoshi, how come your thing doesn't come out when you type something? It just says ... Can I give you like a permissions, like a mod permissions, or how does that work? Oh. There's a lot of people with CHs in their names. I'm just glad I'm CHA. And I'm surprised there really hasn't been another Chang, even though that's one of the most popular last names, surnames, family names in the world. Oh, yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I'm watching on my Twitch stream, and it's not coming out. So, Wei is Chu. Nice. Jim, what are you working on today? Jim lives like down the street from me, actually, literally. So we're neighbors. Running out of lead. Try a new pencil here. This is Stadler. You guys see this? It's a Stadler Gold. It's gold, so yeah. It's 05 still. This is a 2H lead. I mean H. This is probably an H lead. The other one is H lead as well. I have a 03 pencil. That one is usually 2H. It's a little thick, a little harder. This one H, the lead is a little softer, so you get a darker line. The harder line tends to not be as dark. I like that one when I'm penciling on the front, so it doesn't eat up too much of the paper. So when I'm inking, the ink is able to be absorbed into the Bristol. So, but you got a couple Empire covers that came out today, right? Was it today or yesterday? What day is today? Shit, today's Thursday. Yeah, you guys make sure to go to check out Jim Chung. Also, his got a big cartel site too, right, Jim? Jim and I were supposed to be table mates at San Diego this year as well, which reminds me, I have to I hope the deadline hasn't passed, but I forgot to submit the Artist Alley registration forms. I hope they're a little lenient on that this year. I'll do it maybe tonight later after I'm done with the stream. If you guys have ever met Jim in person, Jim is quite a strapping young man. He also has a very unique British accent. Funny story with Jim is 2010. I'm in 2010. I think it's 2010. 2010. I'm in London for a comic book convention, the MCM Comic Con. MCM London Comic Con. This was a Sunday. After the show, this girl and I, we went from the convention to, we're gonna stay in a hotel in it's not in London City, because the MCM is at the what is that? Sean actually went to the MCM show with me a couple years later. It was on the east side of London, and we're gonna relocate to a hotel near Notting Hill, or not near in London proper. I don't know, is that right? It's a really nice hotel too. And we're taking the train. We're gonna take the train to London, the tube. Is it the tube? And I'm carrying all this luggage, rolling luggage down the hall, through the tube to switch from one train to the other. And then I hear like Bernard. I don't know, I'll just say it. And I look up, like, I don't know, who am I? Turn around, and it's Jim. And I bump into Jim Chung in the subway underground. Chatted for like, I don't know, like a quick second, because I was like rushing to catch the next train. And you never know who you're going to bump into. So that was kind of funny. So that's when you were in London. Were you visiting family, or were you still living there? That MCM show is nice. I mean, I think Sean and I went 2013. So I went back like 3 years later. And in those 3 years, the show had expanded tremendously. The size of the show was like doubled, if not at least tripled. Still not the size of San Diego, but it was impressive. They had a whole separate hall that was just people waiting to get in, to buy tickets. I have bumped into people, but Jim was the most famous person I've ever bumped into in a subway station that I can remember right now. And it was a surprise too, because Jim's a very nice guy. So I was like, oh shit, wow, it's Jim Chung. I think that was the rest of the trip. Anybody we met, I was like, hey, I bumped into Jim Chung on the subway. It's not called the subway over there. What is it called? Alex Honnold's fiance. Wei bumped into Alex Honnold's fiance at a climbing gym. She was climbing gym, or she was in a gym climbing. All right. Well, I think it's 2 hours. Wow, 2 hours. This is a long stream today. We're shooting the shit about a bunch of stuff. Where's the light source coming from? Pele? Kazuto, you met Pele? Whoa. Where did you meet Pele? There's no subway in what part of Brazil are you in? I've been to Sao Paulo. I've been to Sao Paulo twice. Alright, well. I think we're pretty much done here. Everybody can soon return to your normal everyday activities, whatever that may be. Sean can get back to work. Sean's been giving Kazuto like a one-on-one lesson tonight. What part of Sao Paulo? Oh. Yeah, that's interesting too. We should ask Jim this since he's on stream with us. Sean and I were discussing this the other day. We tend to have a lot of followers. I mean, there's a big comic book contingency, fans, readers in Brazil. There's a extensive history of American comics, superhero comics in Brazil. I think many people would be surprised how influential some of American comics have been in other countries, but also how they're, the history of the publishing goes way back. All right, let's do a little eraser work. Yeah, nice piece here. This boob is a little too. Is that balanced out a little bit? Okay. Let's go back in with a little magical erasing. Do we need a wash on this, Sean? Or... going in with the eraser. The hand is already kind of, you can kind of see it. The hand has already kind of created this naturally just from drawing. This kind of grayness. I would never encourage anybody to use their finger to do this. That's a big art no-no. This is all just pure happenstance here. But, what would happen to Crispy if he didn't win this? I mean, I'm drawing this for you. You're gonna have to trade with whoever wins it then. Unless you don't like it. If you don't like it, then... trying to get this on camera. I'm working with a limited view today due to the X-Wing cockpit. If you guys like this, maybe I'll come up with some other... I mean, I was thinking I could do cars, you know. I could do the... I could do... the Back to the Future DeLorean. I can do Kit. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like this? I mean, it cuts down the screen size. The car is easier because the car would only be like up to here, right? Up to here. And then so you have a bigger screen. I'd have to figure out, maybe there's a rear view mirror is where you see Sean, or where you see me, and then if there's a side view mirror, maybe, you know, try to be kind of funny. Yeah, maybe so the rear view mirror would be like, so we're not right in the middle of the car, or maybe in the driver's seat area. So the rear view mirror would be on closer to like one side here, and then the driver's side mirror, you know, would be like where Sean was. Try to be creative, you know. Come on, Crispy. Crispy, are there any birds? You better, like, go outside and let some birds poop on you. Good luck. I do like this. Okay, I think we're about finished. Sometimes try not to overwork it. 2 hours, 11 minutes. We are way past our normal time. Looks like we still have the same 11 people. 2 woke, 2 toke. Okay, let's set up this wheel here. We ready to do this? As we said before, if you're on the stream, let's set up this wheel here. Spin wheel. All right. Everybody gets a, well, since anybody not here that was here earlier? So go down the list. Y Hi, Yoji, Luke, Sean Chen, Beavis, Butthead, Crispy. Crispy, you're going to bump you up because now you're adding in all your other previous attendances shows. So that's a big, okay. It's a big. Luke's got 2. Give you an extra 1. Yoji's got 2. Y High's here. Sean's here. Beavis, Butthead. Beavis and Butthead, I'll keep them at 1. That'd be nice. Because then 2 plus 1 is 1, right? Who else is here? Who just typed in? 2 woke. You got 2, so now you get bumped up to 4. Because you're a subscriber. So it's really between Crispy and 2 woke. Kazuto, you're at 1, now you're at 2. J-Dang, 2, now you're at 1. George, are you still here? George Vega? Or did George go away? I haven't seen George type in a while. George. J-Dang. Let's see. Check this out. Updating the wheel. Ooh, look at that Crispy. That's a big Crispy. Crispy's got a big slice. It's got 7. Now, Crispy, you want 7 individual slices? Or you want 1 big slice like that? Oh, Jim Chung. Sorry, man. That's right. Jim Chung gets a slice. Welcome to the stream, Jim. Jim has an opportunity to win. All right. That's right. Jim gets to win. If Jim wins, I don't have to pay shipping. That's the best part. I just drop it off with the doorman. Jim Chung. There it is. Orange. Right. Did it come out? Jim, you only get 1 because you weren't here earlier. I mean, rules are rules. Sean, you don't want to be on this? I mean, Sean, you can give your slice to someone. You want to give your slice to someone? Okay, Crispy. Get individual slices. I think if you have like 4 or more, you have the option. But if you have 2, it's just, I'm only going to increase the size of your slice because that's a pain in the ass. But because then I gotta manually move each up and down, and that just slows the whole game down. Alright, how about this? I give you 1 that's 3, and then I give you 4 individual ones. Well, if you win, Jim, you can do anything you want with it. I mean, you can use it as toilet paper if you want. It's yours. Chin is kind of long. All right. Jamie, you can keep your slice. Who would you want to give your slice to? I tell you what. If you guys win, then I will respin again. How about that? That way the pressure's off of you, Jim and Sean. And then that way whoever does win can thank you for it. But if Sean or Jim lands on Sean or Jim's and I spin again and Beavis and Butthead wins, then I get to keep it. Well, technically the birds get to keep it. You know. All right. So we good with that? Let's see. So, Crispy, I'm going to give you a color that is so bright, like hot pink. How about that? There we go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. Look at that. Oh, two are together. Let me move those slices apart. Which two are together? Where are the two? Here it is. Crispies. There we go. This is almost like you playing Monopoly, and you know, like, man, you got a hotel on over here. This whole area. Oh, this dark brown. Who's dark brown? Is that too woke? No. Dark brown is Luke. Where's too woke? Too woke is green. Okay. Alright, here we go. 2 hours, 20 minutes in. Thank you so much. Let's spin it. Let's get the wheel going. Let me double check Crispy. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There you go. Got 7. Good luck. Oh! Too woke! Too woke. Wow. Crispy. I feel really bad. I mean, I rigged it. You got 7 slices, man. Alright, okay, here. I'll tell you what. Let's do a trade. Too woke. Thank you for your subscription. I will make an offer for you. Crispy, which one do you like better? I'll trade Too Woke this Megatron for this Wonder Woman. What do you think? This Megatron from the last. This one's Butthead. Butthead, don't worry. Butthead's worried that he can't sell this for seeds on eBay, but. Well, that's if. Which one do you want, Crispy? Yeah, the Wonder Woman. Oh, wait, hold on. Too Woke, where do you live? Too Woke, where do you live? It all depends. I hope you don't live in Senegal, because I ain't mailing it there. That's like $400. Maryland. Oh, okay. There's all these Maryland people. All right, well. Crispy, which one would you like? Give you an option. You can trade. Too woke, are you okay with the Megatron piece? This was from the last stream. The Megatron piece. Or you want the Wonder Woman? I mean, I could do another Wonder Woman next time too. So, let me erase these names. I think that's why, like, the Streamlabs gizmo knows that man, Crispy just can't win, you know? So okay, we'll figure it out. Too woke, please DM me on where's the space movie? Let me get this up. Please DM me on Instagram. Please give me a follow if you get an opportunity to, as well as our co-host over here, Chen, or also third special guest. I'm going to have to make Jim Chung into a Wookiee or something, and throw him on the monitor or something. And DJ. Okay, so DJ, shoot me a DM with your address, name and address. El Cabone, who won a previous sketch, did not give me his name, real name. I had to write El Cabone on the package, and it got returned because the Postmaster General said there's no El Cabone. Apparently, there's a moratorium on sending mail to screen names. So, lesson learned. And thanks for being a good sport, Too Woke. I'll throw in something else along with the sketch. Yeah, so Crispy, you're back down to 1 now. Maybe when you win something, you go back down to 1, but then every time you're here, you get a +1, plus whatever. Oh wait, we gotta change. We gotta work on the rules. I gotta write them all down. Anything, Sean, that you want to add before we go? Because we're kind of like traveling through warp speed, but not really, because it's really slow. But I want to thank Sean. I want to thank everybody. Yoji, Crispy, Too Woke, our new subscriber. Joshua, Mr. Joshua. Sorry, Luke, you did not win again. Luke did not win, but maybe next time. Wei, thank you for coming. I think Sean's asleep now. Oh, there he is. Today's Thursday. Maybe, I don't know if we'll do it tomorrow, but maybe Saturday during the day or Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. A couple days. Stay safe. Sean's busy working. And check out Sean's project too. Next chapter something? I can't remember. Let's see. Let me take out. Oh, Sean. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Enjoy. And see you soon.